Good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Here's a Krylith, and welcome to the second large creation in Minecraft on this channel. The first one would be the spaceship I made years ago, but right now we are standing in Mukhfi, which is a desert city. I hope I really didn't butcher that name, because since it's a desert city in medieval times, I wanted it to have an Arabic name. It roughly translates to the word hidden. Why this name is pretty obvious, I'll explain in a moment. I'm standing on the city walls right now. The tour of the city will be a little different. There will be shots in which I'm going to tell a little bit about the city in general and the features in the city, like the city's defenses, how people get their food, the landmarks and the landscape. Now, a city like this is lively. Minecraft is still a pretty static game, not that much going on, so I made sure there are villagers in the city living in the houses doing their things. Also, their workstations are in there, so they will go in and out of their houses as they go along their business, which brings a bit of livelihood in the city, along with animals like sheep and llamas. Unfortunately, you don't have camels in this game, otherwise I would have put those in. It's a city built in a canyon pass, that's why it is surrounded by cliffs, which look like Mesa cliffs. They are made with World Edit. I'm not going to make those block for block, obviously, but I think they turned out nice. They have layers just like real life cliffs, but they aren't as obviously visible as normal Minecraft Mesa cliffs. A canyon is usually created by a river. In this case, a river has carved this canyon and then dried up. After this city was built, it may have dried up, but that doesn't mean there's no water left. There are little ponds scattered across the city, which are remnants of this very river. Speaking about the city's name, since it's built in a canyon, it will create some kind of natural city wall, hiding the city away. The only need to defend the canyon ends. No need to build an extensive city wall, which reduces labor and material cost. Now, how do these people get their food? It's a pretty poor city, so the people don't have that much to eat. They can go to these kind of places where caravaneers sell their food, a small market, where one can buy potatoes, carrots, dried meats and other goods. Moreover, within the city there's a pond where people can fish for their own food. It's not that large of a pond, so I guess they need to be careful not to fish it empty, so it cannot replenish itself. Next to a pond is a building in which people can process the fish and make it available for selling to the citizens. Then the city also needed something unique, a landmark when people can meet and recognize the city. So I thought, let's make a statue in the middle of the city. Now of course, space isn't very abundant in this place, so it need not be such a big statue, but not too small either, because Minecraft has a certain size of blocks you of course cannot change. Considering statues, which is 3D pixel art, the bigger the better, because bigger means you can add more details. So it didn't need to be that small either. I went with a scorpion, which is an animal that lives in the desert, so I thought it was kind of fitting. The city is also home to various craftsmen, a fletcher which makes bows and arrows, a blacksmith which makes and improves armors and weapons, a stable master which has llamas they care for. They can be used by the city guard, but also used to be sold to the citizens. The city is also home to a library, which is quite a bit bigger than the other buildings elsewhere. People in the region will visit Mukhfi to go to the library and get knowledgeable about a subject of their choosing. The library is there for every citizen and has been hoarding books and knowledge for centuries. The Iron Golem is probably protecting the library from people who misbehave and tries to stop people from stealing. Speaking about misbehaving, next to the palace there is an area lowered into the ground to house prison cells. If you misbehave, the city guard will come for you and throw you in there, with little more than a bit of shade. Because the city is built in a canyonous area, they discovered that there's quite a bit of riches in the ground, things like coal and gold. That's why they dug a mineshaft to gather these riches, along with sandstone to make buildings of. This part houses a mason's workshop, a few residences, storage areas, a material storage and the mineshaft itself. Then lastly, the palace. It does not have that much of an extensive interior. It has a throne room, kitchens, mess halls, a bedroom and a few corridors. The focus of this build was pretty much the city itself. but the palace, especially the outside, adds a lot to the aesthetic of the whole. I believe that was most of it covered. I hope you have enjoyed this little bit of a larger creation. This was it for this week. Next week there's going to be something Portal related. Not the game Portal, but Minecraft portals. See you on to the next build. Bye bye.